December 29th, 1963. The town is Chicago. The two best football teams in the world meet in a deadline to glory.
That was the first game I ever went to. My uncles couldn't have picked a better game for me to go to.
No one has played middle linebacker better than Dick Butkus.
In my opinion, the greatest defensive football player that ever lived. Gale Sayers once asked me who was better, me or Peyton. I said, if I need one game, I want you. If I need a season, I'll take Walter. He says, that sounds fair. Changed the whole culture of the Chicago Bears. Enjoyed working with the guy, enjoyed being friends with the guy, and he's a legend.
You're 100% right, but you're a pain in the butt.
I actually cried when they won the Super Bowl. I couldn't believe it.
I just have one thing to say. We all have bragging rights over the whole goddamn country.
Lovie Smith was a heck of a coach. Now, he's not a Lovie Smith fan, but he made me a Lovie Smith fan. Matt Nagy sabotaged his career. Him and Trubisky had something good going. They made the playoffs twice in 4 years. He took his career, threw it in the dumpster, and now he's getting coffee for Andy Reid. I like the Bears for third place this year, but surprise us. 5 to 6 teams a year that make the playoffs are new teams that didn't make it the year before. Hopefully they'll be one of them.
Welcome, everyone, to a fresh episode of the Mike North Advantage with Mike North. My name is Aldo Gandia. You know, one of the reasons I love doing this show is because Mike and I don't talk about what he is going to talk about today. He just comes here and he lays it on the line. So the Bears have lost 11 straight to the Green Bay Packers, and I can't wait to hear what Mike has to say. Mike North, how are you, my friend?
My trusted friend, my pal, my compadre, my amigo, my sidekick. I'm your sidekick. We're everybody's sidekick. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Nonsense inside the lines at Hallis Hall, outside the lines at Hallis Hall, distractions that don't pertain to football, people muttering under their breath now about hiring practices, muttering that it's so loud you can hear it from every corner. A football team that's ill-prepared. The players blaming the coaches keeping mum because they're afraid to say anything. Montez Sweat, special. Montez Sweat criticizing, saying that the coaches, maybe they got to look more into the depth, more into handling things a little bit better. Maybe spend more time on things. Dude, you got a $72 million guaranteed contract. Shut the fuck up. Making $24 million this year. Shut the fuck up. Okay? I mean that. You're blaming the coaching staff. And this is what happens when an inexperienced head coach and a flim-flam con artist like Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles decide they want to have captains meetings and meet with the players, like inmates have some, and I mean inmates running the asylum. It's an old saying, folks. And if you start doing that, you got a problem. Players running off the field and coming right back after while there's a play going on, like DJ Moore did a week ago. Didn't miss one play. Didn't stay on the field while Caleb was scrambling. Said he was hurt. Played the very next play. You're supposed to lay down. Lack of discipline, coaching, the line, the offsides. They blame Eberflus for a football player knowing they're going to try to bait you offside, and you go offside. At what point does the media ever hold the players accountable? It's too easy just to blame the coaching staff. I get it. You don't have to tell Mike North about coaching staffs. I've seen every one since 1960. Okay? And this nonsense that every time a player makes a mistake, it's because of the coaches. The coaches suck. We know that. but you signed in big time contracts. And you're talking about not this or not that. We put up 19 points yesterday. I thought we scored 50 the way everybody's talking. I thought we scored 50. Thomas Brown. Oh, look at him. What's he doing in there? He's jumping up and down because we scored a touchdown. That's how bad it is right now. Jumped up like we won the Super Bowl. Okay? None of this. Look at the Jets. They got rid of everybody but the guy they got to get rid of, Aaron Rodgers. The coach paid the price for a bad signing. And a football player that just lost it. And sometimes football players, my wife reminded me of things that I've said over the last 47 years, 50 altogether. 47 married, 50 altogether. She reminded me something I forgot because it was a rather pleasant thought for a change. She said, I remember you saying sometimes a football player loses it like that, or a player loses it like that. Other guys can stick around, dwindle a little bit. But when you sign a $50 million a year contract, and then you say you're going to be back next year, when I'm hearing otherwise, this is what happens when you sign problems. And he was a cancer at Green Bay. Because believe me when I tell you this, folks, they're as good without him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way it is. So now we're in a division that's run by a bunch of hapless souls. The Chicago Bears in a division that is run capably.
Yeah.
All the way down. Then we have outside distractions. I don't want to hear any more about DEI. It's the best. How do they call it, Aldo, in the movies? It was a secret that was open, but nobody knew about it, but they didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing about it. When I go to the team's DEI, I mean, you ain't hearing, and I said this on AM 1000. Aldo listened, I believe, this past Friday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a great station. It's a Bears flagship station. A lot on the line.
Yeah.
But I told it like it is. I mean, DEI is the Rooney Rule. The Pittsburgh Steelers invented it, folks. Believe me when I tell you this. It's not really a quota system. It's you better be following it. And we will notice if you're not following it, but there's no fallout. There's ways to get around it because it was the situation where you bring in, all you have to do is bring in one black coach or one black GM candidate and go, well, we interviewed the guy, he just didn't pass it, which I didn't like. Okay. Now they've expanded the Rooney Rule to include you have to, and I don't totally agree with this, because they've added females to the group. Okay? So now you have to automatically, every team, interview not only minority candidates, but now they've brought in a female candidate. So basically you're pushing the minority candidates more out. That's what you're doing. Unless you do what the Bears did. They hired a coach, a running backs female coach and scout. So they got rid of that just like that. Problem is that Derrick Henry wants to play for the Bears. Is she going to tell him he wasn't tucking the ball right? And what's her qualifications? And I'm not pretending that there hasn't been racism in the National Football League since it started. But they started it. They had their flaws. But what they have is a huge employment agency for anybody, employment opportunity for any college kid that goes to college and is good enough to play, regardless of race, creed, or color. You know, I worked for the Chicago Defender. I walked right into the house because I was being called names by the mainstream press. I mean, they were calling me crap before President 47 got in. They were calling me the same names in Chicago in 1992, 93, because the media had never been fired on like I fired on it. Now, they went to Northwestern, Medill, and all these other places because to learn how to criticize people, but they didn't learn how to take criticism back. And that's why we've never had a good marriage. Okay? Period. End of story. You let things by. I'm hearing today, Eberflus, and the people are finding out now that he's till 2026. What have the reporters down there been doing? They were all reporting 2025. Period. And the reason I bring up the Chicago Defender is because I got tired of listening to a lot of the crap we listen to today in politics about me. I walked into that place and I said, "How you doing? I'm Mike North." And they looked at me and they were like this. It's an all building, not one white person in it. 35th and 25th or 26th in Michigan. Walked right in. I said, "I'd like to apply for a job." And I went into I was into an editorial room with 12 black faces. Half didn't want anything to do with me. And I got the job. I didn't have no DEI to save me. I got it on my own. If there would have been DEI, you have to have a white person work for the Chicago Defender, then I would have been exposed as somebody that needed help. And that's what we're hearing about Ryan Poles from a lot of sections. Who wanted Ryan Poles before the Bears? Who wanted him? Give me the list of teams, because when I hear free general manager, the Bears wanted him. That's it. And he took his buddy with him, who can't really coach. Period. And that's just the way it feels to me. And I don't want to hear it. It was a block. Somebody blocked the kick. I thought the Bears played better yesterday. And Aldo, I want to ask you, there's people criticizing the Bears today that, quite frankly, predicted. I'm going to read some scores off for you. My friend Braggs, right? Picked the Bears to lose 52-17. He's bitching because they lost 20-19. I thought if you're going to go by the predictions, what the hell are you bitching about? They almost won that game yesterday. If they don't block the field goal, I mean, don't get mad at the team that you thought was going to be beat by 35 points. Because I didn't bet the Bears, but I didn't bet Green Bay because I saw the spread of 5.5. I said, wait a minute. And then I look in the paper in the Sun Times. Not one reporter, and I'll get to this in our other segment, pick the Bears to win. So I'm trying to figure out. You say they suck, but when they lose, you say they suck again. We already knew that, okay? And Caleb Williams, we got to stop this. This nonsense. Drake May, 30 of 40 for 282 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bo Nix, when I turned it on, this was in the first half. First half, 17 of 19, 192 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jaden Daniels, 22 of 32, 191 yards, a touchdown and interception. Caleb Williams, okay, 231 yards. All right, 23 of 31. Everybody's bragging. People coming on saying he's arrived. He's arrived. Every rookie quarterback had a better day than him yesterday. Every rookie quarterback that played had a better game than him yesterday. Don't care, Ravi, about the 70 yards rushing. He had a Trubisky Fields game. He had accuracy like Mitch, played well, and he ran like Fields. Okay, and I think that's the way to do it. If Waldron's exposed for anything, he didn't call enough plays for Jaden for Williams to run. But if you keep playing that way, he's not going to last. That's why they're trying to make him a pocket passer. And if he can't, he hit that pass yesterday. Okay, fine. He bought time. That's part of his persona. But he is not, regardless of coaching, and I know coaching matters because I got to believe if Sean Payton coached him like he's coaching Bo Nix, I know that he'd be better. I get it. But Bo Nix is throwing dots. Okay. He missed 4 passes yesterday, Caleb Williams. 2 bombs. More. There was a guy wide open. Overthrew him. It should have been a touchdown. Brady said it. So let's quit blaming just the coaching staff. I understand. They suck. One already got fired. I haven't seen our players get fired yet, but they will be. Okay? I mean, I look at this kid, Jordan Love. He threw 13 completions for 261. Caleb threw 23 for 231. And my good friend Aldo Gandia has brought it up to me times when we talked about Mitch or Fields. Too many, those guys threw too many short passes. This is what Caleb Williams is living off of because he can't hit a long pass right now for the most part. He hits some very nice passes at times, but I'm talking on a consistent basis where guys are open. You think DJ Moore's frustrated because he's not getting open? And then I got to look at highlights where they'll have one play where they'll isolate. They go, well, where was he supposed to go? All the receivers are covered. Okay. And then they don't show the ones where he's open, where receivers are open, and they're going like this. Every quarterback misses. He's a young kid. Okay. But he's accountable more than the coaches are. And then I got to listen to Eberflus, who, oh, by the way, the field goal thing, this is a tidbit. I don't even know if Aldo knows this, and he's the Raven of Maven of Bears, of the Bear Bar Room. We used to call it the Bear Bar Room. And then Aldo said, we got to get rid of the first part. And we got to go bar room. You're on mood, I think, kid.
That's what the NFL told me.
I knew you were quiet, but you've been on mood the whole time.
Oh, my gosh.
So you've been doing a lot of laughing there, and I'm going, well, if he's laughing, I got to hear it. I really do. So
sorry.
That's okay. So that's my pitch. This team is a horrible football team. We are the Detroit Lions of 1980. Okay. And if you're familiar with that team or with those teams, look them up, or 2006, but you do what you got to do. And remember, we're not winning for a decade, folks. We aren't. We're not going to win for a long time. We need a line. Both lines suck. If you're going to fire Eberflus, you better fire Poles. This is Poles' third year. What, are we going to rebuild again with this guy? I mean, this guy here, he besides the trade, that one trade, okay, that's a nice trade. But I don't know what it netted, and what else have you done? You signed an offensive lineman that you just cut for $30 million, and you got more coming. I know you got young players, and we're talking about the youngest team in football and everything else like that. I don't think that matters to the Lions, the Packers, or the Vikings. So there's a lot of problems going on, Aldo. I think I got out. I mean, my God, I was up at 8 like this with a cigarette. What time we starting? It's at 3 o'clock. I go, 12 hours from now? I mean, so I'm open for questions. I'm open.
All right.
For
Well, let me begin with Bellissimo. A lot of people are agreeing with what you're saying, but he's taking exception. He says that you
put that one up first.
Yeah, we got to deal with it. So let's get it out of the way. He says you're dealing in a lot of false equivalency, and he says Denver has a great offensive line. Is our line?
I don't want to hear that. Well, then get rid of Poles. He doesn't know how to put together a line. If that's the best that you can do, don't tell. I don't want to hear it. We had a quarterback last year. I mean, I see where right now. See, you know what? This is the show I prepare for. I want you to look up how many catches DJ Moore had last year. He had like 96 catches, 1,400 yards. Aldo, put him up for a minute, because you're affecting the careers of every football player on that team. Allen Robinson, for instance, I bring this up often. It's a good example. Caught over 205 balls from Mitch Trubisky in 2 years. You know how many caught when Fields came? I think in the 60s. His career was basically over. DJ Moore, last year, I think, had 96 catches, 1,400 yards. Okay? You know he's got this year? 47 catches for 460 yards. He sucks this year compared to what he was last year. And we were told that he was, and there you go, Aldo put it up like he always does, 96, right? And then you got 1,364 yards. Okay? His success rate was good. Everything was good. They decide to get rid of the quarterback like they got rid of Mitch before him. They get rid of Fields. So Robinson suffered the next year because Mitch was gone and he had a new quarterback. Now you got DJ Moore. Look at that. 460 yards. They've played 10 games. You got 6 games left. A tremendous drop-off. And last year, Fields didn't have a great line either, folks. And I will once again say this to Barlissimo, because he's in England, I believe, right now going, kick the ball. It's 1-0 after 2 hours. Okay? Oh, and we're going to add on time. And we're not going to tell you why we're adding on time.
Oh, that drives me crazy.
Right? We're going to add on. I bet an under once. They go, and the game's over. Oh, they're going to add on extra time, Jimmy. How many are they going to add on? They're going to add on 12 minutes. And why are they going to do that, Jimmy? You know, they just put it on there. Nobody really knows. I'm like this. I go, what the hell's going on? But I'll tell you this. I love Barlissimo. We've been together as talkers and stuff together since 2018. I think the right game plan was set for Caleb. All the quarterbacks get rid of the ball out of their hands. And he did it great for 3.5 quarters. And all of a sudden they decided to do the 5-step drop and look like Johnny Unitas. And look. And then he was sacked twice in a row. I go, where's the fast passes that he did the first 3 quarters? So there's mistakes made by everybody. I'm not giving up on Caleb Williams, but I'm seeing progressions by other quarterbacks of his ilk. And they look a heck of a lot better. They don't look nervous. And his confidence, I think, is coming back a little bit. I thought the rest of the players played good. I thought they were going to win the game, and it would be a much different show, Barlissimo, had we won the game. But I will say this to Barlissimo, because I had not only educate in the United States, but I educate across the pond. And Joe Burrow, I know you can have a bad offensive line, but Joe Burrow's been to a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow's been to a Super Bowl, but he's been sacked 170 times in 5 years. And he was sacked about 330 times last night. They lost because he has no offensive line. I get it. But the good quarterbacks overcome that eventually. They figure it out. Even Justin Fields figured it out, and so did Caleb by running. I like the fake bootlegs. You should run, but how long can you do that before you take a pounding? He's not a big kid. He's not Josh Allen. You know, I think he's like 6 feet, 215 pounds. That's not big anymore when you're being hunted by guys 296 pounds. But a good question, Barlissimo.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Barlissimo. Tooch is asking, Uncle Mike, what do we say about coaches who coach not to lose instead of going for the win?
Well, Brady, and I'm going to talk about him in our next segment, should have been more forceful, but I knew what he was saying. He thought they were going to run another play. He's saying he would have run another play. And I heard people saying today, in fact, Kurt Warner with my friend Aldo Gandia doing a little sparring on X. Warner said basically, and two things can be right. What happens if the Bears run a play and they go false start? What happens if the Bears run a play and they fumble? What happens if the Bears run a play and they gain no yardage at all? Or the runner forgets how much time's left on the clock and he's running away from the guy? Because I have actually seen, and I know everybody else has, last plays of game with 7 seconds left that they tried one more time. And let's get up to the line. Let's get up to the line. 3, 2, 1. Oh, so what would be happening to Eberflus today had there been a fumble? Had there been a false start? We had a defensive tackle go offside yesterday when everybody, including me, I was off the couch and I was pointing at him. I go, don't go offside. He went, okay. And they went offside. All right. So I don't have a problem with that. And people are going to go, Mike's letting Eberflus off the hook. Oh, no. He's a scared coach. He was afraid. I'm not going to say he wasn't aggressive because I would have probably maybe done a sneak towards the middle of the field. You have a 46-yarder from the left hash mark, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me? No, I didn't write the book of football. Thank you. Anyway. Thanks, Jimmy. Anyway. That's an old producer's trick. Somebody's talking to me. Aldo did it at least 100 times. He worked.
Absolutely.
So now the 46-yarder becomes with accuracy. Okay. Now you got to kick it a certain way. If I'm going to do it, you have a sneak or a pullback and run to the right and get it in the middle of the field. Now, well, why aren't you blaming Eberflus? Because this year, and I don't know if anybody in Chicago or the United States or even the communist bloc countries, and there are some that are holding on. Of course, I have a Washington Senators jacket. We're holding. Anyway,
that's nice.
You're basically looking. Field goals used to be a pray, please pray. Roger LeClaire, Lou Michaels, Lou Gross. I'm talking about great kickers of the 60s, all straight leg. These kids ain't going to tell you this on TV. I saw a kid the other day, his babysitter dropped him off to do Sports Center. Are you kidding me? You know, they don't know this stuff. There was a time when I remember Charlie and Pete Gogolak being soccer kickers, and they were laughed at. They were laughed at. Pat Summerall was a straight ahead kicker. Gross, Michaels. Every team had a straight ahead kicker. So if Roger LeClaire kicked a 25-yarder with the wind blown in his face at Wrigley Field, it was an experience. Mac Percival, Bob Jenks. I can name every kicker the Bears have ever had. The greatest punter I ever saw when I was a kid was Ray Guy, but Bobby Joe Green gave him a run for his money, and he was a punter for years. The point I'm getting to, 50-plus field goals are nothing now. 75% of 50-plus field goals this year, and there's been a ton, have been made. So the idea that we needed 5 more yards to get to the 43 or the 40 to make it a 42-yarder, which is below ordinary. It's your 20-yard field goal back in the day now. The 35, 40-yarder is, to me, okay, you could have done it. Doesn't mean it wouldn't have been blocked. Doesn't mean, I think Santos is glad it was blocked and he didn't miss it. I think he's glad it was blocked, and because I thought the trajectory was good. I thought that guy got sky high. It was just one of those things. But when things don't work and you're cursed and you can't win a game and you're 3-18 on the road, you deserve anything that comes your way. It just doesn't work. And look at the Chargers and the Bears this year. I don't need DEI. I wanted Deion Sanders or Harbaugh. I wanted Russell Wilson or Cousins. I don't need DEI. I had my minorities work with me and my wife our whole lives. Radio, fast food. I don't need that. You know what I looked at when I was a kid? The jersey, the helmet.
I'm not sure how the whole DEI thing fits into the Bears losing to the Packers yesterday. Why are you bringing that up?
Well, because maybe Poles was hired because of that, and maybe he's not good enough to put a team together that can beat the Packers. And because DEI right now is not really going well in any space. I mean, Target's getting rid of it. Target, the store. See, what I think is DEI, there's no room for DEI in football, because then you could say you're not concentrating. When I read, and I read this today, Chicago Bears want to be number one in diversity. You never will be. The Pittsburgh Steelers are number one in diversity. Do you know there was no DEI for the New England Patriots? Who did they hire? They hired a black coach, and they didn't even have DEI. They were told. All teams this year were told. Dallas didn't have DEI. Pittsburgh doesn't have DEI. Why do we want to lead the league in that? Why don't we want to win a Super Bowl? Why do I have to put up with this nonsense? Why do I have to worry about hires? Why do we have people?
You don't have to worry about it, Mike. The Bears lost yesterday because of poor coaching and player execution. Has nothing to do with DEI.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. Tanisha Wade helped the search. Why did she help the search?
And who led the search? A white guy, right? So how's that going for
you?
Bill Polian, George McCaskey.
Everybody didn't even work for the team. And they worked for Polian.
You were blaming him last week. Last week you were saying, where's Bill?
Because I don't think he'd get a job outside of Bill Eldo.
Come on.
How many people will
You
clamor
and
for
so
him?
many people complaining about DEI when it comes to something that is not associated with DEI. I'm sick of it. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's
No,
move
you
on.
brought
It's
it up.
bullshit.
You got mad. How's Target associated with DEI?
I don't give a fuck about Target. We're
Well,
talking
see, but
Bears.
That you know what? But that's the problem.
What's the
You know-
problem?
You're gonna cry when they lose, but you don't give a fuck. Which way is it?
I cry because of what's going on in the field and what I
The
can
whole
see, not
team-
about what's going on.
The whole
at
team
Harris
is
Hall.
broken, Con.
You're blaming
the whole
people
team
of
is-
color. You're blaming people of color and black
No,
people
I'm
for
not.
the Bears
I
losing.
didn't say that.
Then what are you talking about?
All right. Here's what I'm talking about.
This is bullshit.
It's not bullshit. This is the Mike North advantage. We're having a good time, but we have to
Yeah, I'm not
discuss
having
it.
a good time listening to you rant about DEI when it has nothing to do with the 20-19 loss yesterday.
No, it
against the
doesn't.
Green Bay Packers.
But it
Nothing.
has to do. No, but the big picture. Quit looking at the little picture. Look at the big picture. That's all I'm asking you to do. I mean, when I found out you were of Hispanic descent, did I go, oh no? I wanted to work with you. I saw you. I didn't have to be told, you know what, he's Puerto Rican. What? Well, forget about it then. Why? Because I come from an area where when we were kids, I had Gale Sayers on my wall, Walter Payton on my wall, Dick Butkus on my wall. That's why. Because I never heard of this crap. Because all of a sudden in football, that's an important thing. I mean, they were hanging BLM banners inside the stadium. You have a kid wear a MAGA hat, he gets goddamn fined when people were kneeling, and you don't think people notice that? I mean, come on. That's not the game we grew up with, and you know it. Anyway, I'm out of breath.
By the way, the game we grew up with excluded blacks from playing quarterback, excluded blacks from
I
the
agree.
front office,
And you
excluded
know what?
blacks. Okay, why you always interrupting
Because
me?
I
I'm
didn't
trying to
like
get a
that
point.
either. I loved Vince Evans. I
Well,
loved Vince Evans. I didn't care.
That's like saying I got a lot of black friends. Come on, Mike.
No,
Stop
I didn't say that.
You're embarrassing yourself.
No, I'm not. I didn't say that, Aldo, but it's good you noticed that people didn't like black quarterbacks back in the day. Come on. Give me a break. Give me a break.
I didn't say that people didn't like black quarterbacks. Black quarterbacks didn't get the same opportunities. You remember the guy from the Los Angeles Dodgers who said they don't have the same necessities?
He was a complete moron. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But we're going the other way now. We're picking people by skin color in the NFL.
We're not. Ryan Poles
Here's what
was
I
not.
care about DEI.
Ryan Poles was not chosen because of his skin color.
How
Is
do
that
you know?
what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
How do you? Is that you're saying that he wasn't?
Are you saying that he was?
Are you saying that he wasn't?
Are you saying that he was?
No, I'm not going to answer you if you ain't going to answer me.
He was not. He was chosen.
How do you know?
Because of his experience. Look at his
What
resume.
experience?
Oh my gosh!
What, he was a junior executive.
Do you know what you're talking about? He was a scout.
Do I know what I'm talking about? You're insulting me. Now you're insulting me. Now you're insulting me. Do I know what I'm talking about?
You've been insulting me for the last 20 minutes with this fucking
You got all hot
shit.
and bothered. You got all hot and bothered.
Yes, because it has nothing to do with the Bears. It has nothing to do with the product they're putting out on the field. Nothing.
Bears to settle lawsuit accusing them of anti-white male hiring discrimination.
And it has nothing to do with the product on the field.
That should not what you're reading should be reading about a National Football League team. I checked today. They say they're into diversity. I thought the front office was Vanity Fair or Procter & Gamble. And I said, where's the Brown? I checked. Do you know how many Hispanics work for the Bears? We don't have a count. Really? It's the number one minority in Chicago. Now, there's 1 million Hispanics in this town, including Aldo. But they don't have
I don't want a job there.
They don't want a town.
I don't want to
I
work
look
there.
and I go, wait a minute. So, Aldo, before it's cut off,
wants to talk
there
about
is no way the Chicago Bears or any NFL football team should be being sued and then settling because then there'd be a court. They said, forget about it. Where a white guy is suing because he had all the credentials, but when he showed his picture, they said, send us a picture. 10 minutes later, he's let go. 10 minutes later, they go, we're not interested. Read the case, folks. That's all I'm saying. Aldo's right. They didn't lose because of that, but that's a problem, and that's something that's got to be corrected like they're doing in this country right now. That's just my opinion.
Bellissimo says Poles was wanted by the Giants, the Vikings, the Bears. He chose the Bears, and
nobody came after Poles. I don't care by who. Who told you that?
I remember published reports on that.
And
talk to the little black box. Talk to the little black box. By the way, why do you have a black box and not a white box?
You want to know something? The White Sox made up that Kenny Williams was wanted by Toronto. It never happened. It never happened. And then they gave Kenny Williams, once Reinsdorf made the people think he might leave, they gave him another deal. I don't care. But all I'm saying is it's a distraction because people talk about it. I bring it up here, and all of a sudden, for a nothing type of topic, we have a heated argument, which we have never had since you owed me $5 and you didn't pay for a month. Okay? So now, what do we got?
By the way, I want to tell everybody, Mike and I still love each other. We got mad at each other for a couple of minutes. We still love each other. We respect each other. What? I was mad. You were mad.
That's
you
right.
were mad. I wasn't mad. Whatever. I don't care.
Aldo, there's a reason. I make a lot of people mad. But it's got to be addressed because nobody, and Aldo will agree on this, nobody's as politically savvy as Aldo, except for me. Okay? All right? We're actually talking about it. And it's not talked about. And you know what? I just think it was good to get out. That's what I prided my career on. And that's the way it's going to be. And Aldo just got as mad as Jiggets would get, or Carmen, or anybody else. Although now when I have a discussion with Aldo, it's not even being mad. It's like different philosophies. People can't even discuss anything anymore. I am a little bit more tired than I was in 94. That's just me. I feel like Mike Tyson right now. What a joke. What a God-blessed joke, by the way.
We got to get to the Tyson thing in a second, but just so you know, here's a published report. Minnesota reportedly approached Ryan Poles and Bears about, this is the wrong one. I put the wrong one up. But there are published reports that Ryan Poles was offered the job.
I could publish a report tomorrow that Al Jazeera is looking to me to be a host. Al Jazeera wants Mike North as host.
I love it.
This is the guy that's a savvy Emmy Award winner in the media, and he's trying to sell me on every damn headline. Nobody believes any headlines anymore. Entertainment-wise, political-wise, or sports-wise. Nobody believes anything. So when I see that, I go, geez, why didn't you take them? All
right. Robbie says Mike works at Al
Yeah, I just got it's in the Minnesota Duluth Register. Al Jazeera is after me to do sports.
All right, I want to get through some of these questions real quickly because I know we're running out of time. So Brummy Bear says, Mike, have you ever witnessed a more demoralizing run of events? The devastating losses from the jaws of history, players' mistakes, indiscipline, and lack of unity. You've been following this team since the late 1950s. You went to the 1963 NFL championship game. What have you ever witnessed anything like this?
I haven't witnessed where you don't think you're going to win, even when you're in a position to win. Even the 69 Bears that were 1-13. I never thought, Aldo, that we're out of a game if it was close. Mm-hmm. And Doug used to say, we didn't win, we lost by 6, but they carried more bodies off the field than we did. I mean, it was a bloodbath every time because those guys were married to the team. Free agency has hurt the game of football that's never talked about. You love DJ Moore, and then the kids, they're into him, and then all of a sudden he's gone. I mean, I saw that kid in the paper crying. Let me tell everybody this. If I don't have kids, so I'm in no position to talk. Mm-hmm. None. But I have 39 nieces and nephews. Well, I'm over at my nephew's house, and he's got a beautiful, good-looking kid son. His name's Marco, my nephew. Good kid. And he was crying because Rizzo got traded. I had to sit him down. I go, don't worry about it. There'll be another guy you'll like. And he'll take Rizzo's place. Okay? But I had to tell him, but you don't cry. Or you shouldn't cry. It's the business. They're not going to be here forever. And that's just the way it is. I only cried twice. I didn't cry when the Bears lost. I got pissed. Me and my buddies would go to the corner. We were 11 and 12 years old, arguing. How could the Bears give the ball to Cyril Pinder? What's wrong with Dooley? You know? Or how could Douglas throw that pass into triple coverage and Gibran calls that play? But we never wept. I wept twice. When the Bears won the Super Bowl, I wept. I earned it. Okay? And also when Walter got sick. When Walter got sick, I wept. I wept there in front of people. And I'm old school. I do cry though. Cried the other day. You know, watching I can't watch Dogma.
I gotta do another show with Aldo.
No, I didn't. I didn't say that. I love this.
I'm just kidding.
But I have teared up about that. But all I'm going to tell you is no team. If you're gonna, I told the kid, I've been there. Trust me when I say this. You got 65 plus years more of misery. That was my message to him. If you want to cry, you won't have any water in your body by the time you're 30. It will be gone. It will be gone. You'll cry tears. It will be like a flood, because that's what the Bears do to us. Yes. And then we become accepting of things almost. You know, we become accepting. And when that kid Kyle said it last week on the NFL Network, we're not accepting. What choice do we have?
Dog says, is it a coincidence that every Chicago sports franchise stinks right now? They are all garbage.
Between Reinsdorf and by the way, the worst owner, one of the top two, the Ford family, brutal, the McCaskey family right there with them. Virginia McCaskey is the principal owner. Okay. Mm-hmm. And she knows what she's doing. I know people that see her at church. Okay. I'm not going to say where she goes to church, but I know it's sharp as a button. Okay. So she knows what she's doing. But I think when you look at our leadership, our families, most family sports businesses, unless you were Steinbrenner, and you know, they don't do as well. They really don't. They don't do as well. I mean, I guess the Rams are doing good now. Look at the Chargers. The Spanos family finally went out and said, we have one of the great quarterbacks in football. Why is he not looking at? We have a good team here. We have Khalil Mack. We have Joey Bosa on defense. Why are we losing these games at the end, like Eberflus is? And that coach is just like Eberflus, a deer in headlights, and was afraid. And so they went out and did what I wanted the Bears to. If the Bears would have hired Jim Harbaugh, we'd be right in the thick of this right now. He brings an aura that Lombardi would bring. He brings an aura that Hallis would bring. When Elvis walked in a room, everybody looked up. When Frankie Valli walked into a room, most of the people looked up. When Frankie Avalon walks in a room, they go, waiter. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. It's just the way. It's charisma. It's belief. It's resume. And when I talk to Aldo about that, I look at resumes of people. What was Eberflus's resume? The last two weird things happened. I saw Caleb Williams in one game that I'll never forget play Notre Dame, and he was horrible. I said, if they play defense in the NFL, he might have a problem. And then the Eberflus game when they lost and they needed to win to make the playoffs. And the Bears hired him right after the loss. I love Vrabel, but they'll never hire him. I wouldn't take. You know, there's a lot of people that might not want to work for the Bears that are good coaches that they know their day's going to come. The way the Bears front office is, the way the structure is, the way the family is. If you're a coach that wants to continue working in the NFL, you wait maybe for the next opportunity, because Dave Wannstedt was 4-12 2 years in a row. So the McCaskey family went through this before. It has gone through this many times before. They fired a coach that was 10-6, and they kept the coach that was 4-12, Wannstedt, for the next year, and he went 4-12 again. This is what we're dealing with here, folks. The top, the very top.
The very top. Let us move on to a section now that has people saying,
say what?
Say what?
Hey,
you know, say what? It lightens the mood.
Anyway.
Tom Brady is fantastic.
Yes, agree.
I came on these airways, and I think the ability that I didn't always have is to admit when you were wrong. Tom Brady dissected that game yesterday. Like, I could listen to this guy every week. And I should have known, because my first day on the air, you don't want to hear that tape from 92.
Mm-hmm.
I should have known. It's Tom Brady. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be the best looking at it. I'm going to wear impeccable suits that are worth $5,000. I'm going to wear black because I look good in black. And I'm going to be the best damn analyst in the country, like I was the best quarterback in the world. And I listened to him yesterday, and I said, I haven't heard a breakdown like this. Could it be a little bit more forceful? You got to remember, folks, he owns 10% of the Raiders now. He could have said, what is he doing? He came up short on that second to last play, I thought. I thought he should have been out there a little bit more. But he broke down the quarterback situation, broke down, and what he said is true. And I've been saying it for years. They just hand the ball to the new quarterback and don't make him compete. That's where the Bears have been wrong. From Mitch had to wait. Caleb Fields waited. But I mean, really, Caleb Williams should have waited a little bit, like Jordan Love. And Brady said the same thing. In fact, we were in tune on a couple things yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
On timeouts and other things. I tweeted out that he said something happened that I had said on Twitter beforehand. I mean, Tom Brady was sharp yesterday. Aldo, I don't know how you feel about it, but I think he's fantastic. And I humbly take back what I said about him about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, I'm with you. I said some unkind things about him a while ago, but I thought he really did a sensational job. Now, a lot of people have said that he's gotten better over the last few weeks.
Yep.
I don't know, because that was the first time I heard him, but I thought he was super, super knowledgeable and communicated well. Yep.
Absolutely. I want to tell Lou Canellis, my good friend from Fox 32. Lou, don't pick the Bears to win against the Packers.
Ever again.
Ever. He thinks that counting the Packers win yesterday, they'd win 3 of the next 4. Don't say that anymore either. PZ says it right. Romo is a grind to listen to.
Yes,
Brady is a pleasant listen. You can tell he's taped his voice. He's worked on his skills, basically. And you get tired of Romo. It's a cliche. Brady is good. There's a show that I watch called NFL, and I forget the name of it, but it's with Cynthia Freeland.
Oh, yes, on the NFL Network.
Yeah, they're good. I like them. Rosenthal,
Yes.
and some other people on that show. And I monitor their picks. And when they come on, they have a great show. Don't get me wrong. And she says what 6 times when somebody made, it's more of a loose handicapping show. But they give out the point spread, and then they give out the score. So if it's the Bears +3, and they pick the Bears +3, and the Bears lose by 2, or when Bears lose by 4, they give themselves a win for the straight up win. And I'm saying, are you going by the point spread, or are you going by the win? Because you're not 50 games above 500. That I can promise you if you're picking with the spread. I saw where you guys are 95 and 54. Don't list the point spread. And then you know what I can't stand? When I look in the Sun Time, and a guy like Rick Tellender, the spread could be +2. The Bears could be +2 against Atlanta, right? Who are they bad? Whew. Atlanta. No defense. Nobody can tackle anymore. Anyway, so the Bears lose 30-28. So it's a push. He picks them to win lose 30-28. Don't pick it to land on the point spread. Have some sack. Have a little sack. Pick a winner. Pick a winner, guys. You know what I mean? You ever see that, Aldo?
Yes.
The Bears are -7 against Indianapolis. Bears 35, Indianapolis 28. Don't have it land on the number. Pick a winner for God's sake. Have some stones.
I totally agree.
Wait a minute, I'm like the kid.
And by the way, respect to you, because every Tuesday you have Accountability Tuesday, and you let everyone on your social media accounts know this is how I did this. I won this and I lost that, and a lot of people don't do
like that, Aldo. People, look, I haven't heard from some handicappers for a month. They used when they were winning. Hey, there's explosions. You know, they're running. They're running through a field.
Yeah.
You know, the one girl. Oh, I love Lucy. You know, Lucy, the one that walks. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I like those walks too.
Oh my God, please. And then Paige Baranek, the big busted young lady. God bless her. Bring breadcrumbs and some mountain climbing boots. Woo! Anyway, they make these picks and then they're not accountable, for Christ's sake. Oh, here's another one. My two guys, Danny Parkins and Skip Bayless. Look, I said that the other rookies had as good a game. We don't need to see, and this is the detachment when you're away from Chicago or you've been away for a while or you're not from Chicago to begin with. Caleb's arrived. And then Parkins. Welcome to the Chicago Bears. What? We lost. He averaged 4 yards a pass. We lost. The defense. Oh, we haven't even talked about the defense. It's Swiss cheese in big plays. Would you agree, Aldo? Swiss cheese.
Yes, I have to
Their
agree.
defensive line sucked. We lost. A guy doesn't want to know he arrived. Listen, when you drop dead 100 feet away from the water in the desert, getting close doesn't make you arrive. You were 100 yards off. All you had to do was get there and drink the water. The nonsense I'm hearing. He's arrived. Where? He's at home going crying. He's at home painting his nails, crying, throwing the football at the TV. My God.
Obi says Caleb's arrived. Dumbest, most desperate goose poop I've heard. Wake up.
I'm not saying he's not going to arrive, but don't say he's arrived. It's like the person. Hey, we got by that iceberg. Here's another one. No. He didn't arrive yet. Ask Caleb. Ask Caleb if he's arrived. He knows.
He's got a lot of work ahead of him.
And that's basically, yes, he does. And who knows what will happen, but we'll stick with, Sage deal.
Ooh, Sage. Gonna be working at the White House, maybe?
Well, no. I heard that, though. I love Sage Steele. We've been following each other for years. We've talked through print, not by anything else. And she's a staunch conservative now. But I want to remind Sage, okay, that you did the Joe Biden interview and you said they fed you all the questions, okay? And you did it anyway, okay? That's on you. Mm-hmm. You could have said, I'm nervous. I'm not up for it. Okay? Because they ended up getting you at the end anyway. So when you were let go, and I saw this, the reason I bring it up is because of what Aldo said. Sage is an intelligent woman, beautiful woman. I respect her. But she messed up with the Biden interview. You don't complain about the fact that you interviewed him. And I had to take all the questions from my bosses. You wanted that pedestal for you. It was good for your career at the time you thought. I'll give you a perfect example. Did you fight him at all? Because I remember I was on the air during 9/11. Okay? And they said, Mike, there's been a problem. They told me what it was. Okay, I can handle it. No, we're going to Dan Rather in New York. 10-minute fight. The people don't want to hear from Dan Rather. We can get this done. I'll describe everything. We got the TV right here. It was a 10-minute drag out because I believed I could do it. And I wasn't going to do it on their terms. And it was cutting into my show, which was a highly rated show. But I relented. But I thought, how hard did you? Okay, so that's my deal there as far as that goes.
On the lovely.
Captivating, isn't it?
I was riveted. Next segment.
Anything goes.
Oh boy, what a show!
What a show.
Aldo said to me, I don't want to be a negative guy, but the show sounds good when we lose. Yeah.
It did. I said, by the way, just before this show, I said, kidding around. Let's be mean today.
Oh no, that's me. That's me. All right.
Little did I know I was going to be mean.
Oh my God.
To my
We get madder than they do. We get madder than they do. I had the ref took a game from me yesterday. I'll talk about it on Accountability Tuesday on Twitter on X.
Okay.
You can get Aldo Gandia at Aldo Gandia and at the barroom Aldo Gandia and north to north on orientation number 2 NORTH. But accountability is the most important thing, and I think everybody since COVID has lost a step. Oh, by the way,
good point.
Right? Everybody's lost a step. Somebody says, my wife goes, "You want to go out?" Out? No, I don't want to go out. I just used to say no. I'm just waiting for the next plague. I didn't know the plague would be 60 years of Bear football. We have lived a plague of plagues. Okay, ready? The Commanders, the Eagles look like a great team. Remember they were going to fire their coach?
Yes.
Yeah, they're going to fire him. They won 6 in a row. Hurts looks good. 26-18 over the Commanders. That was Thursday. The Packers 20, the Bears 19. Let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions 52, the Jaguars 6. I believe right now, Jared Goff is your MVP. Okay, let's give it to somebody different. I watched Lamar Jackson crap the bed yesterday, and the field goal kicker killed me. He makes 2 field goals. I cover. Tucker, he never misses. Well, North's on the Ravens, and here's Tucker. Wait, he's heard something. Who's on the Ravens? North. Let's kick to the left. That's what I did. Twice. The most accurate kicker. Okay. All right. Vikings 23, Titans 13. 8-2. Titans stink. Levis, I don't know what to think of him. I haven't heard everybody say it was a terrific game when it comes to him. He's not getting it done, but it's not just his fault. As every rookie quarterback. But the rookie quarterbacks that are shining are doing it on teams. See, Caleb Williams had the best team of all the rookies. That's what we heard. And he did. That's what we heard. And right now it ain't working out that way. Dolphins 34, Raiders 19. Big win for me yesterday. Took it on the odds couple and on Carmen and Yurko. I watched them the week before. I only have to watch one game to see if the team's going to be good or if the guy's going to be good. And they played great the week before. They look like they're ready to make a run. They're 4-6 now. They went 34-19 against the hapless Raiders, who are just that guy Pierce should go. The coach should go. Minshew shouldn't be allowed to play anymore. O'Connell stinks as a quarterback. Crosby should get out of there. I mean, commitment to succulence should be their thing, not excellence. Okay, that was them in the 80s.
Succulence. I like that.
Did I use that in the wrong sentence?
I like that. That's a new word. I like
commitment to sucking. All right, that's your commitment.
I like succulence better. That's a
commitment to succulence. All right, Rams. We're going over. Rams 28, Patriots 22. Matthew Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
They're in quarterback. Derek May, very good. Gets rid of the ball. Knows when to throw the ball away. Knows how to play the game. Doesn't need to be told. You're going to take a sack, throw it away. Okay? He knows what he's doing. Good little quarterback. He'll be good. See, I like his upside more than even Bo Nix's upside right now. And Daniels. I like that kid. I like this kid. And Stafford's terrific. I mean, he turned the Rams into a Super Bowl team. Look at Harbaugh. How many Monday mornings did Aldo get up and talk to his beautiful wife, Donna, and say, how about those Chargers? I mean, seriously. You don't talk about the Chargers till next Saturday when you start ready, So he's made them a brand. Don't the Bears get that?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Colts 28, Jets 27. Aaron Rodgers, I loved every minute of it. It's better almost as sex.
I
Of course,
wish I
I don't
would've seen
remember
that.
how it was, but it was good. No, believe me. The one thing you don't want is a broken right wrist, kids. That's it. I got to be honest with you. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. This is my relaxation portion of the show. Aaron Rodgers is the biggest con artist who ever lived. He talked his way into 4 MVPs, and he won one God blessed Super Bowl. He was in the weakest division outside of Tom Brady's division in football. He feasted off the Vikings, feasted off the Lions, and feasted off those Bear teams. He had an easy walk to division, okay? But don't ever think that Mike North didn't know from day one he was a tool. And what makes a great talk show host a good talk show host, a very good talk show host? When you go against the grain. And I heard how great he was. And then I heard Greenberg. And then I heard Rex. And then I heard, who's the kid with the 2 different jackets and the
Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark.
Yeah, Ryan Clark, yeah. First of all, bad luck. All right, number 1.
Just try wearing just one. Do that neck thing again.
Bingo. Oh. Got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Bing, bing, like Raging Bull. Bing, that's stupid. Yeah, but anyway. Yes, yeah, thank you, my friend. Colts 28, they win. They beat Aaron Rodgers. And then he says, I'm coming back. And then somebody else says, I'm not sure of that. You're going to spend $50 million on that guy? First of all, he looks like a scarecrow now. I mean, I can't believe it. He went from Errol Flynn at 30, at 25, to Errol Flynn at 49 in a matter of minutes. He looks like the guy that was in Home Alone that the kid was afraid of. He's like got a gray beard. He looks like a homeless man. All right, he can't move. See, like Cousins, wherever he is now, that's where you're going to find him at the end. He can't roll like Caleb and some of the other guys. Steelers 18, Ravens 16. Why didn't I know that Russell Wilson would figure it out?
You are absolutely right.
I mean,
about
my
that.
God, the guys I read off the Eldo, Deion Sanders might be in the playoffs. He might have a player make the Heisman Trophy, win the Heisman Trophy. Harbaugh takes the Chargers and makes them an everyday topic now. Russell Wilson comes to the Steelers after being disparaged by the Denver Broncos. They just wanted to get out of the deal. And you know what? I'm happy that they got out. It was good for Russell. And then you got Cousins, who still is as good as that. And I just look at what we could have had. And I look at the Steelers right now at 8-2, and Mike Tomlin is my coach of the year. That's all there is to it. Mike Tomlin. And you'll say, well, wait a minute. How about Buffalo? Come on, Mike. How about Kansas City? Come on. No. How about Detroit? And I'm going to say, wait a minute. Help me out here.
Here it comes.
Help me out here. Did the Steelers, they were picked to win 8 games, 8.5. Okay. You take Justin Field, who's an automatic. I mean, Justin Field, for instance, Mitch threw 67 touchdowns in 4 years. Justin threw 40 in 3 years. Okay. So it was a big disparity. But what he didn't do is they were a better team with Justin Field, the Bears. And I had said to Carmen, if they don't win as many games as they did last year, it's a disaster. So right now it looks like a disaster. Carmen took the over, 8.5. A lot of people I know took the over. Are they going to get there? They would have been feeling better had they won yesterday. But what Tomlin did is tailor the team. And nobody does it better. Tailors a team to the different teams that he gets. We're going to throw the football when we have Big Ben. We're going to run the football when we have Najee Harris and Justin Fields and throw occasionally. Okay? Russell Wilson can do both. We'll call him more. There's 3 different playbooks. There were 3. He's had 3 different playbooks. Big Ben didn't play like this guy. He didn't play like this guy. He doesn't play like Justin. Different playbook. Here's Justin. You can't play like Big Ben, and you can't play like Russell. We'll get you to play like Vic. A poor man's Michael Vick. He wins. They're 8-2, folks. The Pittsburgh Steelers. That's a good coaching job.
It is a very
that is a great coaching job. We got a couple more here real quick. Broncos, go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
Broncos 38, Falcons 6. I had the Falcons. I can't believe what happened to them. Nobody tackles around the knees anymore. Everybody tackles high. Nobody can tackle. I see every day plays that should be stopped for 1 yard losses turned into 22-yard gains. Okay, there was a touchdown yesterday, which everybody's using for Eberflus, that they ran with 26 seconds left, some team, and they ran for a touchdown.
Yep.
Okay. The Seahawks. Yeah, I prepare for this show this year.
I notice.
I'm not in the dark like I've been in the last 4 years, getting surprised by things. Okay. Seahawks 20, 49ers 17. The Seahawks, we love that pick. That was a show pick on AM 1000, getting 6.5, 17 points for the 49ers. Are they like the Chiefs? Because I don't think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl this year, folks. The Bills convincingly in the second half beat the Chiefs. Your MVP is probably going to be Josh Allen. It should be, but Jared Goff deserves. I mean, I'm sorry. We've watched Detroit for 50 years. They haven't won since Christ was a child. Okay.
Never been.
They haven't won since Patton was a corporal. Okay. They haven't won since Hefner was at Steinmetz. Okay. All right. They haven't won since I got a D on my report card, which didn't happen much. Enough is enough. God bless him, but he looks good. And then you got, I mean, what's more impressive to you? What Josh Allen is doing, what Goff's doing? He puts up 50 points every week.
Yeah,
and they're not playing hobos, folks.
Yeah.
They're not playing. And last but not least, the Chargers beat the Bengals. Joe Burrow's the best quarterback I've ever seen that doesn't have an offensive line. He's got a worse offensive line than anybody in football, and he just keeps winning. So that's it, my friend.
That year he went to the Super Bowl, he had a terrible offensive line.
51. Here, folks. Hey, Mike. I love it. He looks like this. He'll throw a couple lasers, and you know, he won't be sacked for it. And then, the offensive line sucks. And no. He got sacked 51 times, Joe Burrow, in the Super Bowl year, which led the league, folks. Aldo knows I didn't look at that. I know this stuff. Aldo was just looking it up. 51 times. And I got to listen to this nonsense. Okay. And you know who's a good football player? Swift. You know what I like about Swift? I want you to watch. I don't know why we don't just put NFL best historian ever. I saw Walter Payton play every game. I never saw Walter Payton, for the most part, run out of bounds on his own. It's an epidemic that's grown in this league. Okay. Yeah. Gale Sayers never ran out of bounds. Gale Sayers cut back. All his runs are. Gale Sayers cut back. He never. There's a 5-yard gain, and he's going to go out of bounds. Like I see all day.
Yeah.
Guys running out of bounds. Guys that need help by two guys to get up. Okay. How often you see this? Help me up. You know, I get up on my own. Give me a break, you weaklings. First of all, did you see Swift's touchdown? What did he do? He cut back like Gale used to and like Peyton used to. He cut back and he could have run. He was right there. Yeah. I know about 70% of the league of running backs would have run out of bounds. Mm-hmm. And I got a lot of respect for Swift. He's had a pretty good year for a god-awful team, period.
Indeed.
All right.
I love it. These little videos, you're dancing in the background. I like that. I'm going to have to figure out a way to capture it.
My dad was doing this dance before he was, okay? I don't want to hear that crap. It's not more than that. Wait a minute. This is, I don't care. I love the dance. And I know, Aldo, I don't want you to get. That dance is just a fun dance to do because everybody can do it. But you got to have the technique down.
Yeah. Aldo, by the way, PC.
Aldo, would you do the dance, please?
Yeah, okay. PC is right about this. Franco Harris' best friend was a sideline.
Yeah, that's what that's it. I'm watching. Wait a minute. I'm watching like every player. Here, I got the list of yeah. I mean, my God, the guy is so here. We know TV, charisma and connection. And doing stuff like working. Look, I worked in fast food. I dump garbage. Who do you think I voted for? So anyway. So wait a minute, and I'm an educated guy. That's the big thing. Okay. Wait. Okay. So this is beautiful. Okay. My dad in 1977 walked up to the band at Tacoma Wind when they said, "Good night, everybody." And we appreciate it, Mike and BB. Good luck with your marriage and everything. And my dad walked up to him like John Wayne and gave him 100, which in 1977 was like 500. Okay. Play. Okay. And that's what he did. Like he thought he was John Wayne. Play. And they played, and my dad danced the Trump dance. So that's how old guys dance. Old white guys dance like this. But for some reason, I was here. I remember my aunts dancing and teaching us how to do the twist in 1963. You wrapped the towel around your ass, you held on to it, and you went like this, right? This is since Chubby Checker, there's been no bigger dance craze. I'm telling you. And although did my heart good to watch it do this. All right, so now Houston 7.5-point favorite. Money line, no. I'm taking Houston. It might go down to 7. If it does, that's even better. But minus 7.5, and I'm going to take the over 41. Last week we were 1-1. We're 9-7 for the season.
That is awesome. And by the way, one other thing, Mike, before we get out of here,
yes,
we got to talk about our friends over at Rahl Jewelers.
Oh my God.
The absolute best. And tell us, have you visited with the guys over there recently?
Yeah, I mean, I go up there every couple of weeks. I come in. It's a beautiful place. I usually come in around lunch when they're not doing too much. Of course, I shouldn't say that at that time because now everybody will go over there at lunchtime, and Brad will be digging into a Jersey Mike's or something like that. By the way, Danny DeVito's one of the best spokesmen on TV for any product. Okay,
he is. You're right.
And I'm sorry, he's a guy I heard that could drink people under the table. He's like 4'11". Okay, and right. He's a wild man. He was great in Jewel of the Nile and in those Michael Douglas movies. He was great as Martini in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. People don't. In Taxi, he was unbelievable. Now this guy decides, okay, I'm getting older. Jersey Mike's, he's made Jersey Mike's a boatload of money. I just look at the commercials, and he pokes fun at himself, and he's absolutely an outstanding spokesman.
He's fantastic, and so are the people over at Rahl Jewelers. You can
Rahl Jewelers. Listen, let me tell you something. Outside of him, I'm average, but that's beside the point. Because I buy from Rahl Jewelers, 847-765-3000. Let me tell you something, folks. Brad Gams, Ryan Gams, the girls over there, and they're quite something to look at. I would like to relay that. Aldo will tell you that. They all are. I hope I don't get written up by human resources there.
The DEI office is going to.
I'll never forget. Wait a minute. I'll never forget. Somebody came in. You can't say that. You better go talk to human resources. I go, I thought they were a band. You know, what's human resources? I'll never forget it. All right, come on, sit down. Did you say jag off on the air? Because this is a problem.
Yeah. Well, and gave birth to the greatest term of our time.
Jag. But yeah, I think. Sit down, will you please? I thought I killed somebody. Did you say this girl was? You said she would look good in the dress. Is that true? Yeah. Firing squad for you. You know, nobody said you look nice anymore. You can look nice and you won't even know it. Those were the days. Fabulous.
Those were the days, my friend. Yep. By the way, again, Rahl Jewelers, give them a call, 847-765-3000 when you want to buy that special gift, please.
And I got 2 chains for you. Say you want the love chain with the silver gold here, Aldo Cena, or the joyous. Have it doubly made, the joyous bracelet. BB has both those. They're outstanding. I'll take some pictures of them on next week.
Yeah, I'm going to go visit them in a couple of weeks to get something.
We should go together.
Yeah, let's meet them and have lunch.
Hey, you think he'll give us a deal? Brad?
As long as we don't bring
up
DEI.
Worry about it.
As long as we don't bring up DEI, we'll be fine.
Oh, for Christ's sake, DEI's fine. You know what DEI to me was? Dumb, erratic, and an idiot.
And no one can argue with that.
That's it. I go, why am I being categorized? All right, folks, we love you all.
Mike North, he is the man, and we'll see you here next week. Same time, same station. Bye-bye, everybody.